Welcome to the Hollywood Outsider, an award-winning weekly entertainment podcast. In this episode, we are having our 2024 movie release extravaganza. We're going to go over 30 upcoming films, maybe even closer to 40. I don't know what the total number is going to be, but there's a lot of them. So let's get on with the show. My name is Aaron Peterson. Joining me today, my fellow host, Troy Heinrichs.
What's up, everybody?
Shaking the order up. John Davenport.
Hey, buddy.
Amanda Sink.
Hello, hello. I'm here with my Taylor Swift cup of wine.
Because Taylor Swift is from Britain?
What is going on? Oh, you have a Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was so last year. We're done with Taylor Swift.
No,
now.
she's not. She
done.
has a whole other part of her tour this year.
Didn't you see Travis holding her hand so that it was nice and warm when they left that cold-ass Kansas City place?
She had a custom jacket made for him. So cute.
Oh, boy, we just lost
Adorbs.
Whoever was listening.
We
They're
lost everybody.
Taylor
They're like,
Swift
I'm
triggered.
so tired of hearing about her.
I am too. Hey, remember, you can always find more information at thehollywoodoutsiders.com. Join our Facebook group, The Hollywood Outsider. We're on X at Buy Popcorn. And share your thoughts on this episode with email at feedback@thehollywoodoutsiders.com. Look, there's a lot of episodes we've had as of recent. Most importantly was our 2024 awards episode where we each went over the best in TV and film from last year. But now we are officially moving forward. This is 2024 we're looking at. Are you guys excited? This is always our most popular episode for whatever reason.
I'm excited.
I don't know why this is the most popular one. I would think the awards would be the most popular one.
I think it's because people are wanting to know what they should look out for, and not to toot our own horns, but we do a really good job of all of us finding different movies for people to tap into. We all have different genres that we tend to lean in towards. Now, don't get me wrong. We're going to have a full list of all of the big movies that everybody is going to be interested in seeing, but I think that it helps that we like to bring in our own tastes and different perspectives. And I think that's why people also used to enjoy when we would give previews for the week of what movies were coming out, because then they would figure out, hey, what's on the horizon?
Are you trying to make a pimp for that to come back or something? Is that what you're doing right now?
I kind of miss it.
Yeah, I kind of miss it a lot too, honestly.
So it's an in memoriam, Justin's upcoming attractions.
Yeah. Oh. And we just celebrated. I shouldn't say celebrated. Ooh, that was terrible.
Wow, Amanda.
Wow.
The 6th anniversary of the loss of our host, Justin McCumber. Apparently, Amanda
I was going to say we celebrated his life recently.
Remembrance.
Yeah, because I was listening to episodes of him and I was laughing. So for me, it was like a celebration of his life, but I worded it so terribly.
Yeah, apparently you were so... I was just...
God,
I was
feel bad.
remembering his legacy. Amanda's over there like, party!
No. I miss him correcting my grammar. I do.
I miss him talking about your boobs on the regular.
Yeah.
You know what? He
very
did do that a
uncomfortable.
lot too.
It was very weird.
He did not miss throwing a bag of chips at your face for that total disregard of his life.
Fair enough. I deserve it, honestly.
Okay, well, let's get into it because we're not going to waste time. There's a lot of movies to talk about, and we're going to run through them when they come out. As of right now, it's important to note, the schedules change. We've already had, since we planned the episode, there's already been 3 movies that have changed their release date. So it is very possible that some release dates will change. But these are the dates as they are slotted right now. Most of them will stay strong. One, Mickey 17, I think it was, got pulled off the schedule. I think they're holding it for closer to Oscar season. So they must have a lot of faith in that one.
Either that or Taylor Swift was releasing 2024, her new album, on that weekend, straight to movie theaters.
We got to stop with Taylor Swift. What is it? Can we make it a drinking game? Troy has to do a shot every time Taylor Swift's name is made. Now, apparently, you're now. What do you got? A vat of wine?
No. I filled it up very little. It's only up to here.
Then what's the point of using that?
Because it's a cute cup and I needed a cup. to put my wine in. I wasn't going to bring the bottle down here. Then I'd really look like an alcoholic.
So
I was just trying to have fun.
We're not judging alcohol. You do you live your best life, whatever you got to do. And if you're struggling,
I was just trying to bring some energy because I'm tired and I've been sick.
Wine's going to help.
And for those who aren't watching the
alone.
video portion of the podcast, because there isn't one, since this is an audio show, Amanda poured a 2-knuckle pour into her cup.
I mean, yeah, it's I don't know. We're a few inches
Those are
deep.
like Hulk-sized knuckles, dude. They're
Yeah.
yeah.
2-knuckle Amanda.
I basically get like 2.5 photo portraits of Taylor Swift is the fill line. Basically,
Okay.
Those are 8x10 photos.
of the AMC cups.
All right, we're officially retiring Taylor Swift. Now we're moving on
Yes, we are.
to the top 15 most anticipated movies. We're going to start at the bottom of that list. We're going to start at 15 and go up because you don't want to start it with number 1, right? No.
No.
So, number 15, most anticipated. This is basically taken. What I did was I went to multiple polls, right? There's tons of articles saying the most anticipated of the year and IMDb and things like that, and carpooled them, put them all together.
And collated
Affinity
them.
voted.
No, I didn't collate them. I carpooled them. I did it the way I said. All right, don't judge me. Did it my way.
It was corrugated them.
I did that too. I corgied them.
You guys don't even know what you're saying.
Sure don't.
Nor are you saying the same words
Oh.
back to back. Who has been drinking here that isn't me? Okay.
Aaron took an affinity vote of multiple sources and coincided them and collided them into a
And corgied
coagula-
them because he used corgi.
I wanted to work a
The
dog.
dog.
I wanted to work a
list.
dog in there somehow. Yeah. All right, number 15.
These
all
are
right?
the top 15 combined.
Yes, there we go. From all those lists. Number 15, A Quiet Place, Day One.
Surprising.
Woo!
Starring
Can't wait.
Lupita Nyong'o, Joseph Quinn, Alex Wolff, comes out June 28th, 2024. And hold your thoughts. With the thrilling exception of the second movie's opening scene, the action in A Quiet Place franchise has taken place after the super deadly aliens have already invaded and destroyed society as we know it. As the title implies here, the third film in the series is going to show you the first days of that alien attack more in depth before anybody really knows what's going on or what to expect from these monsters. And that's what we're going to see. Now, Michael Sarnowski, who's directing it, he did Nicolas Cage's Pig, if you saw that film. So I am interested. What say you?
I am I'm unsure how I feel about this. Lupita makes me want to run for the movie theater immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But not having Krasinski at the helm does make me go,
I'm sure he was consulted, though.
I mean, I'm sure, but I really enjoyed, I guess, his take on it. And I'm a little worried of how this is going to change because, different people, different visions, different way of doing things. So.
Look,
Yeah.
I love these movies just because of the concept of sound and how they use sound and silence in these particular films. So I'm curious how they're going to do a holy shit Cloverfield type movie in this particular day one event in that same manner. So I wonder if it's going to have the same kind of, I don't want to call it a gimmick, but the same kind of sound usage, or if it's going to be full on, no longer A Quiet Place because aliens are invading.
It's going to be a loud place.
Maybe.
I think this is going to be more of a survival or try to figure out how to survive and set up a way to survive like we saw in the first two movies. It'll be, to a degree, really interesting. I don't want to put my own spin on whatever it is because so far I've enjoyed both movies, so I will be willing to give this a sit for sure.
And it's a test, right? It's a test from a franchise perspective because this is a point of view from people we have not seen yet in the franchise.
Right. Okay. I think 4 hands for A Quiet Place Day One. Moving on to number 14, Argyle, which comes out really soon. It comes out February 2nd, 2024. Directed by Matthew Vaughn, starring Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Henry Cavill with the worst haircut he could find, John Cena, Dua Lipa, Bryan Cranston, and a bunch of other people. Kingsman director Matthew Vaughn returns to the world of Cheeky Spies with his action comedy about a novelist who's played by Bryce Dallas Howard, who draws the attention of an underground crime syndicate when the plots of her espionage novels uncannily mirror their activities. And then it's up to an undercover spy to save her and her cat. And the spy is Sam Rockwell. And I do like this. I saw this in an interview with Matthew Vaughn when he was talking about this particular film. Is, in the In the trailer, well, two things. One, in the trailer, everything you see in the trailer is only from the first 20 minutes of the movie.
That's great.
So
crazy.
while you think you've seen everything, you actually haven't. And the second thing is, why would he cast Sam Rockwell as a spy? He said, because if you were really having a spy, you wouldn't have someone who stood out like Henry Cavill. They would look like Sam Rockwell. And that's either very smart or very offensive to Sam Rockwell.
And very complimentary to Henry Cavill.
Well,
my goodness.
We can all agree on that.
Fair.
The movie I think about when I see Sam Rockwell in this role is the movie Mr. Right, where it's him and Anna Kendrick, and he is a hitman and deciding to get out of the hitman game, but he is almost preternaturally gifted as a hitman. Him in that movie, I like his charm, I like his quip, I like what he can do. In general, Sam Rockwell is a lot of fun on screen, so I'm excited to see what he does in this.
And the cast is stellar. I mean, you're talking not only Henry Cavill and Sam Rockwell, but you also got, John Cena is going to be here, Bryan Cranston, Samuel L. Jackson, Catherine O'Hara, Ariana DeBose. So I think this is going to be fun.
Yeah, me at Dua Lipa. Honestly.
I figured that the plot of it would have gotten you. It seems very reminiscent, to me at least, of the fun, modernized, and visually appealing Knives Out type of movie where we're going to have some mystery to it.
Yes, to me, this is a modern Romance in the Stone. That's what it is.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
It's very, very similar. It's a spy version of Romance in the Stone, which I love that movie. So, and Matthew Vaughn, very rarely does he do wrong, but I didn't love all the Kingsman movies. So, first one was very good, and then the second one was, diminishing
I'd agree
returns.
with that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 13. From the world of John Wick is Ballerina.
Hell yeah.
Calm down. Directed by Len Wiseman, starring Ana de Armas. Keanu Reeves is in here somewhere. It takes place between John Wick 3 and John Wick 4. Lance Reddick is going to be in here. Norman Reedus is in this bad boy. And it opens on June 7th, 2024. The first spin-off film of the John Wick universe stars Ana de Armas as one of the female assassins trained by the Ruska Roma, the criminal organization that was headed up by Angela Houston's director, and we saw in John Wick Chapter 4, Parabellum. Though we don't know much more about that. So, what do you think about Ballerina? Why are you so excited, Amanda?
Well, first of all, I love the John Wick world. I actually just got done with doing a rewatch of the movies 1 through 3, and I'm about to rewatch number 4, which I can't wait to experience again. But I think it's the world that they've built. It's the choreography, for the stunt coordination. It's the visual aesthetic of just the entire feeling that you get from watching these movies. And as long as I have that, I get a little Keanu and I get Ana de Armas. Okay, I'm sold. You do not need to tell me much more. And I remember, I think you and I talked briefly about it after we saw John Wick 4 at South by Southwest, because we got a little bit of a insight into what could come down the pike for this. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like we were both interested in it. And Keanu seemed really excited about it. And he seems like such a genuine individual that I don't think that was just marketing. I think he genuinely was. So I think with having his support behind the film, I'm in,
Well, I think he loves the world. He's just tired, And
so
exactly. Now he can watch somebody else kick a little ass, and it doesn't have to be him.
Yeah, because it was supposed to originally end with 5 installments, and then it seemed like that got changed. So that's how the Ballerina and Continental kind of came into the picture.
Well, Chad Stahelski said that they wanted another one. He decided not to do it. They put everything they wanted into the 4th one. That's why we didn't get that chapter 4 and 5 like they originally talked about. Ana de Armas, she's great. She can kick ass. I think this could be fun. All right. The energy felt like it got sucked out of the room. So we're gonna move on. Anything else on Ballerina before I move on?
Can't wait.
I'm in.
There's such dude responses.
Oh my God.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't
Robot.
wait. Yeah, I can't wait. This looks very good.
Looking forward.
I cannot wait.
Good.
The Russians are part of this movie, so I will definitely see this. Where's Russian space station?
Everybody in the union just turned off.
Uh-huh.
Maybe. Hey, before we move on to our next movie, though, I do want to mention Next Goal Wins, because Michael Fassbender stars in this very hilarious and heartwarming, feel-good underdog comedy based on a true story by Academy Award-winning director and filmmaker Taika Waititi. You can score big by adding Next Goal Wins to your movie collection today. You can buy it now on digital. You can own it on Blu-ray February 27th. I saw this when it came out. It is a delightful film. It is fun. It's heartwarming, and it's covering an area of the world that hasn't gotten much coverage. So it's a very beautiful story that I think a lot of people will really enjoy. So check out Next Goal Wins as soon as you can. And if you want a chance to win a digital copy, you can email us contests@thehollywoodoutsiders.com. You give us your name and share the show with friends, and we'll enter you into a drawing to win one of 5 digital copies. All right, that's contests@thehollywoodoutsiders.com. Next movie is Alien Romulus, directed by Fede Alvarez. Oh my God, he did the Evil Dead remake. That was awesome.
And Don't Breathe.
But the Evil Dead remake, that was awesome.
Yep, both of them, yeah.
It comes out on August 16th, 2024. Isabella Merced, Kaylee Spaney, and several other people that are newcomers to the world of acting. And the new film comes from Don't Breathe director Fede Alvarez, and it'll follow a group of young people on a distant world who find themselves in a confrontation with the most terrifying life form in the universe. And all I want to say, thank you, sweet baby Jesus. We don't have Sigourney Weaver. We don't have the Prometheus nonsense. We just have people terrified of aliens. Thank you. That's what I want.
I need a good alien movie. I need to get the taste of the Alien Covenant out of my mouth. This is good for me.
I couldn't agree with you more on that, because Alien Covenant was terrible. I'm also and I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not a big Alien franchise fan. Okay, I'm not a big Ridley fan. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for all of this.
Did you say Ridley or Ripley?
Ridley.
No, it's Ripley.
I meant director.
Oh,
Ridley Scott.
Okay. Well, hey, to be fair,
no, that's fair.
To be fair, all right, just clarifying. Okay.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I do like Ripley. Okay, I do. But I'm not a fan of, the one who basically brought this franchise around. However, Fede Alvarez being the director, and knowing that it is intended to be a standalone film has me very interested for the first time, I think, between any of the Alien movies.
The thing that only intrigues me about this movie, because I think Alien is tired and done with at this point personally, but the Romulus edition of this seems interesting, because if you know anything about your Roman mythology, the story of Remus and Romulus were the twin brothers who were described as the founding city of Rome. So the question I have is, where is this going to fall in the timeline, given that we had Prometheus and then we had Alien versus Predator and things of this nature? Is this the establishment of the alien colony on the planet that Ripley comes to eventually? Or is this an establishment of an alien human type hybrid with these small people that are being terrified? Like, there's just a lot of something is going to come out of this to be in the universe of it's building of an empire. Officially
not tied to any previous Alien films.
Right, but it's still aliens.
It is.
It's still the xenomorph.
Sure, but they're not going to tie in a Prometheus or Covenant.
Well,
so
no,
it's going to be its own
directly.
Thing. Yeah,
not directly.
I want no connection to either. I just want to let that go. Just be done with it. I never want to see Danny McBride in my Alien movie ever again.
Truly.
God,
Keep him in comedies. Yeah.
So if it has no connection at all, is this like a Kelvin timeline versus a Prime timeline?
I think you're overthinking it.
For God's sake.
Yeah, there's not enough detail out here yet for us to be...
It's an Alien movie, dude. It's just like we had Prey. Predator showed up. It was like that.
That was cool. Yeah, that was a really good one.
That's all we need. We just need people showing up on a planet. Holy shit, there's aliens here. That's all we need. I don't need any Roman mythology ties to Ridley Scott's nonsense. None of that. I want an alien movie. I don't care about any of that nonsense.
Which is a great tie-in to the next topic.
Yeah, speaking of directors that Amanda hates, Ridley Scott directed Gladiator 2 because he's desperate to revisit Gladiator for some reason. Starring Paul Mescal. Denzel Washington's in here. Literally, that's your hook. That's how you get me to pay attention.
Right.
Connie Nielsen and Joseph Quinn and a lot of other people. So Eddie from Stranger Things is really taken off. He's in 2 movies that we've talked about already. Comes out November 22nd, 2024. And Ridley Scott returns to direct the sequel to the historical epic Gladiator, and the story is going to reportedly revolve around a grown-up Lucius, who's played by Paul Mescal, who has become emperor, and we'll see the return of Connie Nielsen as Lucilia.
Isn't Pedro tied to this project as well?
Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
Yes, he is in it. He is in it.
Okay.
He is.
It's a mystery role.
It is a mystery role.
So there you go. Anybody care about this at all? I got number 11 I'm most anticipated, and doesn't sound like any of us give a damn.
No, I love Gladiator. I didn't need this movie. It was a perfectly good story, beginning to end. I don't understand why we're back at this.
I got to be honest with you, man. Denzel Washington will probably get me to see it, but I, like Amanda, have lost my love for Ridley Scott. He can shoot beautifully, but he hasn't made a movie I've actually enjoyed sitting through, probably since the Prometheus.
Yeah, I just don't care about him as a director. I don't think that he has the spark in the tail. I think he's overrated, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Whoa.
But you tell me Denzel and Pedro, and there is no place I would rather be than sitting in there and watching that. So to Aaron's point, yeah, you get that casting, and I am 100% at least willing to go. I'm not going to have high hopes for it, but I'm willing to, go in open-minded.
Fair point.
It could be good. It could be good.
Well, all of these could be good, and they could all suck. That's a pretty basic statement. Do you have?
Yeah,
this one is a pure sequel, right? It's the one, the son or whatever that finds that he was Maximus's son.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Well, number 10. We're in the top 10 finally. Mickey 17, and that's from Bong Joon-ho, who directed Parasite. So he's an exciting director to watch. Robert Pattinson is starring in this. What? Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo, Steven Yeun. This was originally pulled. It was set for March 29th. They pulled it from March 29th. It's going to now, like I said earlier, debut a little later in the year. And this is his follow-up to Parasite. It's the adaptation of a sci-fi novel called Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. And Robert Pattinson stars as a disposable employee, one whose body is regenerated with previous memories intact every time he dies on a mission to colonize a distant world. Troy, what about you? This sounds right up your alley.
It sounds okay.
Wow. Piss off. John, sounds right up your alley?
You described that, and it's right up my alley. I will give this definitely a shot. I'm a little worried because Parasite, though I enjoyed the movie, I'm a little scared that it's going to be a little too I don't know. I guess what I'm worried about is it being too up in itself kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be like, especially if it's right up my alley like this, or at least sounds like it. At least I want it to be more fun and engaging than Parasite was.
I love Parasite.
I mean, it could have like an Event Horizon type feel, or it could have, Cloverfield Part 3 feel. I mean, it's interesting how it could go, but cautiously optimistic. We'll put it that way.
It just sounds like an intelligent, original idea that I haven't seen done.
It's not original. It's adapted from a book.
God damn it. You know what I meant. It's original property then. How about that?
Yeah. It's not a sequel.
It's
not a comic book. It's something from way out there.
All right. Moving on to some love. Bob Marley, One Love. Kingsley Ben-Adir plays the Jamaican singer, Bob Marley, who became a global ambassador for reggae music, pissed off the powers that be with his rebel song, survived an assassination attempt, and helped to unite the political factions of his country. And he passed away young. I don't want to say how old he was, in case it's a spoiler for somebody that doesn't know much about Bob Marley, and is maybe one of a few human beings who can rightfully be called icons. And this movie comes out on Valentine's Day, February 14th, because nothing says love like Valentine's Day. I gotta say, this trailer's been out for a while, and I was kind of getting sick of the trailer, but it doesn't mean I don't want to see the movie. I think Bob Marley is just a captivating personality, and I don't know much about his backstory, so I would love to see this, and I hope it's an amazing movie.
Yeah, I'm with you. The trailer is something that for me has gotten a little tired, but at the same time, once the trailer's on, the song's playing and he's talking, I do kind of get that song stuck in my head for the rest of the day each time I see the trailer. I'm thinking about it. I'm being provoked. I think I'll go ahead and watch it.
This would be in my top 5 for certain for this year if it wasn't on the top 15 list. I love Bob Marley. I've always loved Bob Marley. And I can't wait to see the movie itself. The trailer looks good. I'm really looking forward to it.
I feel like weed sales are going to go through the roof.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Island Time is a whole new concept going forward.
Like Snoop Dogg has quit weed. I don't know.
He has not quit weed. He was trying to sell solo stoves. That's literally all it was. He is still smoking
he did,
the weed.
though.
No, that was the ad. So he could sell solo stoves because it's a smoke-free stove.
I gotcha.
The CEO of Solo Stove just got fired over that ad. Did you hear this? That's a true story.
No, I didn't hear about this.
It's like basically false advertising.
No, it's not false advertising.
He's not forced or obligated to disclose his cannabis use.
It became a very viral ad, right? Like Snoop's going to quit smoking reefer and everybody bought into it. And then if you go and look on any social media, you're going to see an ad of Snoop hanging out over a Solo Stove because Solo Stove it burns the smoke out. So it's a smoke-free fire pit is what it is. And that's what they were using. So the ads made like the top 15 ads of the year or something like that, but they didn't move any more stoves. So they sold no more fire pits. It didn't move merchandise. So the CEO was replaced.
How
That's
embarrassing.
great.
Yeah. There's a fun little tidbit for you kids. All right.
They also dropped the ad at the wrong time because like who's buying a Solo Stove in the middle of winter?
Well, they've been running it since late summer, man. Where you been?
Were they? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't watch ads.
Yeah, I
Obviously.
don't watch ads either. That's why I didn't know it was an ad.
Yeah. All right. Well, number 8 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and it's directed by Westball.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm
And
doing my Amanda impression.
he did the Maze Runner, and stars Owen Teague, Freya Allen, Peter Macon, and Kevin Durant is in this bad boy. It's opening on May 10th, 2024. Caesar, the chimpanzee who led the apes to world domination, died at the end of 2017's War for the Planet of the Apes. Spoiler alert. It's tragic. Yeah. And, but there's a lot more monkey business to be had here. So apes and monkeys are different. Let us have this. I understand. So Wes Ball, who helmed the Maze Runner films, directs the 4th film in the series, which takes place many years after the events of War. And that's about all we know. The effects look phenomenal. Trailer looks phenomenal, but we don't know much about this. Are you guys actually excited for this?
Yes, very much so, because it takes the next evolutionary
Evolution?
step. Yeah. I didn't want to go there, but I did, and I just hate myself for it.
Far too easy.
This is going to show us how the apes actually work within each other, because you had a very dissimilar group, obviously coming out of the second movie, obviously went to war in the third movie with the humans against each other. So now we're getting like which ape tribe is going to be dominant. And then the fact that Caesar's son is at the focal point of this movie. I think that is really interesting how that's going to play out. I'm cautious because it's not tied into the Matt Reeves ecosystem, because this is kind of wholly their own thing now. It could go the way of that one Planet of the Apes movie that we don't talk about, or it could be just as good as Dawn, Rise, War.
Yeah, but all 3 of those movies were really good. Like of the
really,
past
really
trilogy.
good.
And Matt Reeves didn't do the first one. You know, there's a possibility this could be great.
Yeah, I'm crossing fingers. I love New Apes. New Apes is good. That 2000 thing, whatever that was.
Oh,
that
man, Tim Burton movie. Worst
Tim Burton,
ending ever.
Wahlberg.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
Yeah, I can't say that I care.
What's that?
I can't say that I care.
No, I'm just going to keep asking until you get it right. What's that?
I mean, I'm sure I'm going to watch it to give it a chance, but I can't. There's not a part of me that would put this on my top 15 for the year.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I know.
You don't like apes.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't see. Okay, here's where we go back to the awards episode when I was talking about Godzilla -1 and how much I loved it, because the thing to remember with me is I'm not a big like monster, like creature individual.
Sure.
Like I just don't get fascinated by those. But some of the movies have heart to them, and then that's where I can get connected to it. If it's just monsters fighting and destruction, it's hard for me to buy interest in that for whatever reason. But when they integrate, an emotional or story component to it that I can feel in my heart a little bit, then I'm more intrigued by it and I end up liking the movies better.
I mean, they do find a small child, and Caesar's son has to work with a small child. So there will be some hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
Don't care.
That kid might be a dick.
I don't like these monkey movies.
All right.
This is probably one of the better trilogies in how it was executed, deployed, sent, marketed, because it wasn't oversaturated, it wasn't overhyped, and then it went away for a little while, and now it's coming back 7 years later, and it's perfect. It's like the way you should do a new trilogy for apes. 3 movies each decade.
Or you do it the way number 7's doing it, and you make it ridiculous. Because Godzilla
Yes!
X Kong,
Yes!
The New Empire, is coming out on March 29th, 2024. It took that spot that Mickey 17 had. Directed by Adam Wingard, who did the last Godzilla vs. Kong. Starring Dan Stevens, who, fun fact, did Adam Wingard's first breakout movie, The Guest. So I'm really excited to have those two back together again, because I love The Guest. Also, Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, and a bunch of other people. So the 2 greatest kaiju of all time are back for round 2 in the follow-up to the MonsterVerse 2021 Showdown. However, we don't know much about it. It seems like they're going to be allies this time, and they're going to face a colossal undiscovered threat hidden within our world. That's all we really know about this one. John, this seems like it's right up your alley.
Oh, this is so up my alley. I might have to smoke afterwards.
Okay.
Just from the things that I pick up from the very first trailer, because I haven't watched the second trailer, and the sort of things that have been leaked. You've got Godzilla and Kong. They're definitely teaming up. They're teaming up against a larger ape creature called the Scar King, and that Scar King is actually his whole special power is that
you're giving too much away.
I was going to say, I feel like you're running through the entire synopsis of a movie you haven't even seen yet.
I literally don't want to know.
All right,
the less the information, the better.
Yeah.
So the last time, okay, I'll do this instead. I'm going to make some predictions as to what we're going to see in this movie, because I already know there's a few things out there. I won't touch on those, but we're going to see
those things inform your vision. So how about just you're excited about it and why you like Godzilla and Kong? How about that?
Because they're freaking awesome.
Okay. There you go.
There's not much else that needs to be said about them. Godzilla looks awesome. King Kong looks freaking awesome. I can't wait.
Why are they glowing different colors?
It's all has to do with the energy that is in the Hollow Earth area.
Are you telling me this is like chakra stuff right now? Like their aura?
Well, it's like, if you notice,
your energy is really giving me like defensive right now.
See, when Godzilla's happy, he's pink. When he's unhappy, he's green. That's how that works.
And when he's mad, he's blue.
Because he's pink.
Yep.
I don't watch monster movies fighting each other. It just seems beneath me.
What?
Oh my God! Shots fired! I can't believe you said that to John.
How very dare you? We just have to sit there and listen to you go into this whole thing about Romulus and how it's related to the Star Trek timelines and all this other bullshit. Like, you're going to be like, I don't watch the Godzilla movies because they're beneath me. Freaking weirdo.
That was a double shot, because that's what Amanda said just in the last segment we just did about the apes movies, and it was a shot at John.
Okay, I will say I did watch this trailer, and I did like the first movie. This one does. I mean, it's bordering on absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. It's a Fast 10 type experience.
Yeah, I'm this one step shy of hitting space, right? That's so this could go either way. Do you not agree this could go either way?
Yeah,
Nope.
Godzilla could go to space and he would actually be fine, because he would like soak up the sun's radiation and make him even bigger.
And then he'd be super Godzilla?
Yep.
Yeah, and he would kick the earth with his foot like a ball. Like a
he would be Space Godzilla, because there is Space Godzilla in the MonsterVerse.
Of course
there is. Jesus H. Christ. All right. Which is a movie I want to see next year. So, number 6, Beetlejuice 2. And I want to make him a superhero. Why not? Beetlejuice 2 comes out on September 6th, 2024. Directed by Tim Burton. It's going to star Michael Keaton, of course. Winona Ryder's coming back. Catherine O'Hara's coming back. Jenna Ortega is joining because she's basically the new Winona Ryder. Yeah, Good cast, strong cast. Tim Burton reteams with Michael Keaton, again, September 6th, I don't know if I said that, to return to one of his early iconic roles or characters in the sequel to 1988's Beetlejuice. It's been a long freaking time. Legacy sequels always scare me, but Jenna Ortega has been on fire the last couple of years, and she's going to be Lydia's daughter. So, yeah, man. I mean, Michael Keaton still has it. He's still got the chops. I have no doubt about that. I don't know that I'm excited about this, though.
With the Beetlejuice musical doing as well as it has, there's still a very much deep love for the property, so this makes total sense that this would come out.
What is the Beetlejuice musical? I don't know that.
Oh, the Beetlejuice musical is so good. It's basically the first movie for the most part, except that Beetlejuice wants to come back to life, and it has a connection to Lydia's mom's death and how Beetlejuice is also like mourning his mother. And it's a break the fourth wall, very comedic, very non-red state musical, we'll call it. There's a joke about burning books, and it's fantastic. It is so good. So yeah, there's definitely a fan base for Beetlejuice to continue. I don't know if we need this, but I'm interested and excited because it is still very much in the zeitgeist.
I'm excited to see what they do with this and how they push the story, if they are going to push the story or not. I miss Beetlejuice. I always kind of wanted to see more of this story, and I'm just excited to see Michael Keaton back in full form.
I only recently watched the first Beetlejuice. I want to say like a year or two ago. I can't remember exactly.
Whoever your parent is sucks.
I know. So I can't say that it's not like something that I'm most eager to go watch, but I'll check it out, for sure. I don't have that nostalgia to it.
You had never seen Beetlejuice why would you watch it just recently?
Because I think I have a couple of friends who are absolutely obsessed with Beetlejuice, one friend in particular.
Interesting.
And I was like, well, I've heard enough about this movie. And let me clarify, I had seen plenty of like snippets of the movie, but I never watched the entire thing from beginning to end in one sitting. So I'm sure I had seen like segments of it and broken apart, but I hadn't watched it from beginning to end. So I made myself sit down to like watch the whole thing. So I think because I didn't watch it when I was younger, like all the way through, I don't have that same attachment to the original story.
Okay. Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens with Beetlejuice, man. I mean, Tim Burton's been kind of reignited his career as of late, so this could be good. Number 5, we're in the top 5 finally of those polls, basically, is Joker Folie à Deux. It's directed by Todd Phillips, who directed the original Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. This time, Lady Gaga joins him, as well as Brendan Gleeson, Zazie Beetz, love her, Catherine Keener's in this. And we don't know much about it. We know Lady Gaga is playing Harley Quinn, and he is the Joker again. And then reportedly, this will be a musical. But we don't have full confirmation, but Lady Gaga's in it, so there's probably going to be some songs. How do we feel about this? No one's excited about this.
Okay, I'll step
not.
in. I'm excited.
Surprised this is at number 5, to be perfectly honest. But go ahead.
I'm excited. Too. It's got Lady Gaga, and she is a very talented actress.
Sure.
But she's also a very talented musician.
Sure.
And I think she is going to be the star of the show for this, for sure. I think it's going to have less impact around Joker and more around her as Harley Quinn.
I would be more interested in it if that were the case. I like the Joker movie, but that story's done. Like, there was nothing about that made me need to see more. Nothing.
Right.
And I think that's the problem with this.
Right. I enjoyed that movie for what it was. I did not enjoy it for a comic book movie. I didn't enjoy it for any other reason than like just the human aspects of it. I didn't need to see more of the story.
Yeah, I'm with John. I love what Joaquin Phoenix did with the character. I think the character is interesting, vivacious, like just oozes on the screen. Like it's brilliant to watch. But it's the creation of the Joker that was great. Now that you are the Joker and in this movie, can you do Jokerish type things? And if you already are throwing Harley Quinn in it, you're telling me, well, the story is not based on Joaquin Phoenix. It's based on needing help. And so I don't know if I need a movie that has help. Like, I really, 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 really dug the Joker for what it was. It was so, so good. But yeah, to continue that is just a cash grab.
We could all be surprised. We could all
Could be.
Yeah, we could. But again, I'm very surprised that it's this high on so many polls. The most anticipated. I don't know anyone that's really stoked about. I'm sure many of you listening probably are stoked for this. I haven't heard anyone personally say that they were excited for this.
Yeah, I'm more excited for Ballerina Argyle and Quiet Place Day 1 than I am for this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm more excited for Godzilla X Kong.
Hey, don't you say it like that.
Why don't you go ahead and tell me the entire plot again?
I was going to tell you my guess of what it was, like I did last time with the other movie.
Which spoiled it.
Yes, which spoiled
How
it.
did I spoil it?
Because
I
you
came
You
in.
gave details we didn't know.
I didn't know the details
And you were
either.
right. And you know that you were going to be right. And that's the problem.
That's not spoiling it. I was just
is.
right.
It is. It's like
We
insider
didn't know.
trading. You have
It
like
is.
inside knowledge. It's insider trading. Yeah.
And Jesus Christ, Amanda, you just murdered some people who were driving at the moment.
I know. I'm so sorry. Please, I hope that you are not in an accident.
Me too. Before we move on, The Painter stars Charlie Weber, Madison Bailey, and John Voight, and The Painter is available to buy on digital today. It's about an ex-CIA operative who's put in danger when a mysterious woman from his past resurfaces. Now targeted by a relentless rogue Black Ops program, he must rely on skills he left behind in a high-stakes game of survival, and The Painter is on Vudu right now. It's rated R from Paramount Pictures. Trailer looks very exciting, so check this out. The Painter is out now. If you want to possibly win a digital code, you can send us, again, your name to contests@thehollywoodoutsiders.com. Share the show and send us a screenshot that you shared the show on your social media, and we will enter you into a chance to win one of 5 digital codes. Now, top 4. Furiosa. Furiosa.
Yeah, this deserves to be here.
George Miller is directing from Mad Max Fury Road. Stars Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Hemsworth, Tom Burke, Nathan Jones, and Angus Sampson. Opens on May 24th, 2024. Anya Taylor-Joy will play a younger version of the war-rigged driving badass Furiosa in this prequel to Mad Max Fury Road. And yeah, it's a prequel. Chris Hemsworth's going to play a villain, it looks like, from the trailer. And this is going to tell the tale of Furiosa's kidnapping and a rise through Immortan Joe's ranks. Yeah, I wanted Charlize Theron more. I do. I like Anya Taylor-Joy, but she's no Charlize Theron. But this still looks pretty kick-ass.
So I am very excited for this movie. I like the imagery from Mad Max Fury Road. I like the imagery that we're seeing here in this trailer. The way they play with lights, the way they play with shadow, the way it looks like it's on a comic book page in a lot of ways. And I really dig this whole aesthetic they're going with. So I'm good for this.
I ended up getting a love, I guess, for Mad Max over years of rewatching it, because the first time I watched it, I had very little interest in ever watching something like that again, just because I felt like all we did was go in a big circle, and that really bothered me.
Sure.
But
it really, literally, that is the plot. The plot is you go in a big
is.
circle. Yeah.
Yeah. Visually, it is a stunning, stunning film. So I know that I'm going to probably walk out of it and be a little mind blown from that standpoint. But I will say that I go in with some hesitation as it relates to any storyline.
Yeah. I remember seeing Fury Road and people, it's such a masterpiece of storytelling. I'm like, hold on. All right. Masterpiece of action, of cinematography, of score. Fine. Storytelling, they went from one point to the next point and then back to the original point.
I think people got too distracted by the basis with the flamethrower.
Yeah, basically. Like, there's a flamethrower guitar or whatever. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's... I will say Hemsworth looks great here. Like, he does look good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm for the story. So if the story was going to work in this one better than the last one, then I'll be in, because it is Anya Taylor-Joy. But I'm not holding out hope.
Okay. Can you go back to what Aaron just said about they just went from point A to point B and some stuff kind of happened?
That was the last movie. That's why I didn't like the last movie.
Yeah, he's saying that's why I didn't like the story in that.
Oh,
one.
okay.
He wants a better
Alright.
story.
Yeah. He wants I want a better story.
How do we feel about Anya Taylor-Joy basically taking up the reins for Charlize Theron? Because
No.
to me, I would much rather see Charlize Theron. She made the character interesting.
Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, first of all, I used to really, really like her. Now I feel like we're just throwing her in everything, and I'm getting a little oversaturated with her because I don't feel like she's a good actress, but I feel like she's typically the same character. You know, she comes off a little crass, a little brash, and, you know, it takes some time for anybody to warm up to her, for her to warm up to people, and oh boy, this is just her character. But taking the lead after Charlize, honey, no.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but Charlize is Charlize for a reason.
That's true.
You do understand that Charlize went from point A to point B to point A. And
I don't give a shit. I'd watch her go from point A to point A.
I'd watch her
Taylor-Joy took
read
out all of Russia in the most complicated game to play on the planet.
Okay. Oh my God.
That was such.
Did you really? Are you really trying to say that Anya Taylor-Joy is a better actress than Charlize Theron?
He's saying she's
Monster
smarter.
much?
He's saying
I'm
she's
saying
smarter.
that she's just smarter.
The character is smarter. That's what
Yeah.
She's going to stay at point A the entire time and never have to go to point B because she knows that it's just going to come back there.
that character would have died immediately in that universe. So immediately.
How do you know that castle she could have thrown, you know, would have been like a spiky throwy thing or something?
Let's
with flames
pretend
coming out of it.
it's the same character from Queen's Gambit. Okay, let's pretend it's actually not Furiosa. She's actually that character who becomes Furiosa because she got so sick of the misogyny in chess. Huh? There we go. Bam. Crossover.
And she's
All right.
not the same actress. She's totally different in the menu.
She is very good in the menu. Yeah, she really
Okay,
was.
you got one movie where she's a little off key from that. All right.
She's also Princess
She's-
Peach.
She's also very different in New Mutants. Duh.
Very different.
You guys are all citing
Wow.
really shitty movies.
Easy. That would not be the
didn't say
reference point.
Nobody
That
said that the movies were good. The menu was actually fantastic, by the way.
The menu
was.
was
We're saying
good.
that Anna Taylor-Joy was a different actress in all of those movies. So we're
I
refuting
would
your
disagree.
statement.
I would disagree.
I'm just saying
think-
she's not Charlize Theron. She's a
Right,
good
that's
actress.
all.
At the
I'll
end
go
of the
with
day,
that,
that's
yeah.
all that matters.
That's
we can
my
agree
point.
on that.
Let's see if she rises to the challenge.
Fair point. You know what won't rise to the challenge? Because I'm never going to see it. Dune Part 2, which comes out on March 1st, 2024, directed by Denis Villeneuve and starring Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Javier Bardem, Josh Brolin, and I don't care about any of it. So the first installments, day and date release on HBO Max, kind of put this sequel into question for a bit, but they decided to, let's go for it. And in fact, now they're talking about a possible Part 3. So there might be a third one if you want to really fall asleep. So this one sees big names like Florence Pugh and Austin Butler also join in. I don't know really. They're kind of, if you read the book, you kind of know the storyline, but it's the second portion of Frank Herbert's epic sci-fi novel. Troy, I know you know this book back to front. You and
Yeah.
I were on the same page. We did not really care for the first one.
There's a reason. So trying to figure out how to say this nicely without having all the Dune people crucify me with a sandworm. The book is
Painful.
very good. The concepts, the stories, everything about the book is very good. And it's where it should have stayed. Because in the book, it's described a certain way. When you transform, move over, I don't have the right word, over to a different medium, you have to change things to work for the medium. The problem with Dune Part 1 is that it is the closest Dune media visual TV movie type thing that's been done that is the closest to the book. Even the style of the ships, the characters, everything feels very what you think the book would look like. The problem is that doesn't work in film. It is boring as sin because the good first part, it's like watching, oh my gosh, the first part of Return of the King, where you literally read 7 chapters of how Minas Tirith is configured. Nobody cares. It's a white freaking town with 7 layers. Done. Move on. Gandalf rides up on horse. You see all 7 layers and you're done. Right? That's the whole point of this movie series, is that there's so much depth to Dune. To put it on the screen at the length that it is bores the living shit out of the audience, because You need all of that information to enjoy what's coming, but it just doesn't work. You have to consolidate it.
Let me ask you a question, and try to look at this fairly, because I know you're already formulating your answer before I've even asked my question. So think it through. As a reader of the book, many people that were readers raved about this and absolutely loved this movie. Why? Why do you see it so differently than they do?
Because it is the closest adaptation to the book. If you are a book lover, you're going to love this. It is exactly what you read. The problem is that for people that critique film and television and have to sit back and go, does this resonate with the masses to get enough revenue in to make up the costs for something like this? I don't know who signed off on this as a studio exec in this format, because it just doesn't hit the mass appeal. It hits the very niche book lovers.
Well, you liked the book a lot, but why didn't you like it? You just, because it was boring, right? That's why I didn't like it. It was just boring.
Yeah, because I understand the difference between TV, film, and book. And it's like, I want to see something different on TV and film. It's supposed to be told in a very short, condensed 2 hours, maybe 3 hours total, and do both movies in one movie or split them into 2 90-minute things. Like, I can get a lot of the information I need from a mass audience perspective to go, that was a damn cool story. Right? In this case, it's like, I don't care how many races there are. I don't care how many ships there are. I don't care how many sand crystals there are. I don't care how many blue eyes there are. Like, none of that matters to the general masses.
Like, should this have been a series? I feel like this would be a better series for people.
It would have been a much better television series.
It's been done as a series.
Yeah, but this version of it as a TV series would have done better than the original TV series.
You're talking about the sci-fi TV series Dune and Children of Dune, which were fantastic TV series.
Yes, those series were good.
Right.
This is a book lover's, dream. And if you were to take this and break it into a TV series, it would have done better.
With this budget and this scope and this director.
Yeah. This is like saying Obi-Wan should have been a movie, but we made it a TV series. This is saying this one should have been broken into a TV series and Obi-Wan should have stayed as a movie, kind of thing.
So what about you, John? Since you love those, are you looking forward to part 2?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to sit down and watch part 2. I have the same problem with part 1 as everyone did, which is that
not everyone. A lot of people loved it.
As a few people seem to have had, which is it seemed to be too drawn out for the story they're telling, and then there's no major payoff in one degree or another at the end. It's just like, okay, and now we're walking into the desert.
Yep.
And the gunslinger followed.
I understand that.
When I look at the movies this last year that did that to me, which was like Fast X and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse, or Fold the Spider-Verse in half, whatever that one was, like I'm a little tired of the whole, okay, let me not punch my microphone. Let's just walk into the desert ending, as opposed to give me something that's substantial for an ending so that I can enjoy this, versus just, okay, we're going to definitely do a sequel. I hate that.
Does it matter that you knew it was a sequel though? Like when you came into Mission Impossible, right? You knew that there was going to be a part 2. When you came into Rebel Moon, you knew there was going to be a part 2. You come into Dune, you know there's a part 2. Where Spider-Man, you did not know.
Oh, Spider-Man did not know. Fast X, I knew. Spider-Man, I did not know. I was just like, how are they going to wrap this up the whole time? And then they just didn't. This, I knew going in, there was, because it says part 1. I knew going in they were going to cut it up in a certain way. Okay, from a visual aspect, this goddamn movie is beautiful. From an acting standpoint, so well done. So well done as far as the acting is concerned. But it just takes... It's like the Lord of the Rings if it was boring. It takes too long to get anywhere.
Yeah. That's about how I felt.
Yeah, I don't care. I never got through the first one.
Yeah, this is a book lover's movie. It is not a mass appeal movie.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
So, Amanda,
too much setup.
If I'm understanding you, you're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm like, nah. You know how many times I've tried the first one? I've tried it so many times that I fall asleep every single time. It's better than ambient sleep music, let me tell you.
Amanda wants to see sand. She's going to a beach.
Yeah.
Amen to that, for real.
All right. Well, number 2 on this list is Inside Out 2.
Yes!
Directed by Kelsey Mann, starring Amy Poehler, Phyllis Smith, and Louis Black, and opening on June 14th, 2024. That's an interesting day.
That is the best day of the entire year, just so you're aware.
Felt like that was coming. The wonderful Pixar movie Inside Out showed us what things are like inside of an emotional young girl's head. So in terms of how are they going to raise the stakes, well, they're going inside a teenager's head this time. So it's going back to Riley. She's in college, and we're going to get a new host of emotions. And so we're getting some of the voice cast back, but some new ones will be there as well. Why are you guys excited for Inside Out 2? Or is this just another Disney cash grab to you?
I mean, it's a Disney cash grab for sure, because it's a property that did very well. And it's a property that you're like, how are they going to ever do anything more with this? And then you said the same thing about Cars. You said the same thing about Toy Story. You said the same thing about Monsters Incorporated. I think the way that they're doing this is super, super smart, especially when you think about the number of teenagers today that deal with anxiety, depression, ADHD. There's a whole range of emotions that don't get talked about in conversations. So what better way to start having those conversations where parents and children can go to the movie together and be educated about those conditions in a fun, fantastic way. My only concern with this movie is that Bing Bong was a tragic moment for me in the first movie. I was on the floor bawling, and my kids refused to go to the movies with me ever again.
Sure.
You were on the floor of the movie theater? Do you know how disgusting that is?
It was a very clean recliner-based movie theater that was vacuumed.
It's never clean.
Nope. Someone peed on that at some point.
I was
If
distraught.
it's sticky, it's not for the reason you think.
I was distraught.
Or it is.
That ain't soda. That ain't soda.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know the things I've seen in a movie theater. Let me tell you.
That's how badly distraught I was. I didn't care what was on. I was done at that moment.
You were embarrassing a little. I'm just
kind of sad.
A little.
You probably had hepatitis after that. But
if they try to bring Bing Bong back to life in this movie, I'm out. That's all I'm saying.
You would actually get up and walk out of the theater.
I would get up and walk out of the theater.
No, he'd get on the floor.
I'd get on the floor and crawl my way.
He'd start like rocking back and forth.
Make it as dramatic as possible. I will not stand for this. I'm going to crawl out through the theater.
And then I would go buy a Bing Bong doll because he was back to life.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think Troy has a really good point. This, to me, we're not reinventing. Yes, obviously there is the monetary aspect to it because the first one was so well received, did so well.
Disney would never.
But to be perfectly honest with you, I think this is the perfect movie to create a series from because you can go through different stages of life and you can, it was almost very cathartic. And I think even to Troy's point, he was experiencing, it was cathartic for him because it unlocked something he didn't understand that he had, from his childhood.
Feelings.
And so imaginary friends, loss, all that good stuff. And when we think about teenage years, oh my gosh, those, in my opinion, were some of the hardest years to emotionally move through. And you don't even understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling in so many ways. And you don't have somebody who's dumbing it down for you like your parents would do when you you scratch your knee or something. So the level of power that can come with them properly, moving through this film and the teenage emotions, and then eventually, hopefully also moving into like adulthood. And then, you're having to live on your own. You're having to pay bills. Life is a struggle. You're finding a job. You get laid off. You have to find a new job. You start to develop a relationship and you get married and you have kids. All of that. And then eventually, your parents are starting to get ill, da-da-da-da-da. There's so many stages of life.
God, you're making me sad, man. Why don't you?
I know.
Jesus.
But think about all of the good and the bad. It's not just the bad feelings that you're going through. It's the good feelings too. The bad ones just, they have a lasting impact, whereas the good ones don't sit with us as long. Regardless, we all feel them, and having them opened up in a fun and entertaining way, I think is incredibly valuable and beneficial, even if it means Disney gets richer than rich. I don't care because it's worth it. Like the first movie was so freaking good that I cannot wait for the second one.
I think the first movie is probably the last Pixar movie I got excited for. So I can't wait to see this. Honestly, for whatever reason, Pixar movies I don't usually get blown away with or from. But that one, it was so sharp. It was just really, really captured the issue with psychology and how complicated it is and how hard it is to understand and control, and especially in a young child. I mean, just all the factors of psychology and the different emotions that people go through. I just absolutely love how it captured that and made it presentable for kids and adults alike. So that is one that I will see a sequel to. Like Toy Story 5, I will never watch. I haven't seen Toy Story 4. You know, to me, you get a perfect ending, you enjoy it. And Toy Story 3 had a perfect ending. Inside Out, I could see more.
I'm excited for this, but at the same time, it's not going to be something that I'm going to be driving to the theater to go see, because I just
doesn't feel like you're excited for it then.
I want to see. Oh, wait, let me rephrase it then.
Wait till it comes out on Disney Plus. You're that guy.
Oh, I got rid of my Disney Plus, so
you're never going to watch it.
You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm never going to watch it. You know what? I don't want to watch it.
All right. Well, here's what I know everybody here is going to watch, because it's number one, and I think it's up there for all of us. I know it's my number one most anticipated.
For sure.
Deadpool 3. Finally, he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And finally, desperately, who would have thought Deadpool would be the one that could save the Marvel Cinematic Universe from its own excess? And it's directed by Sean Levy. Man, it opens on July 26, 2024. It's the only MCU movie coming out this year, and it stars Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. My God.
Tear.
The Merc with a mouth is back, and so is Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. It will not disrupt the Logan storyline, so you don't have to worry about that. It's not going to affect that film. But this is going to be the first Deadpool movie since Disney bought Fox and brought those characters into their world, and they are making him part of the MCU, and it's still going to be R-rated. It's still going to have that edgy humor. I'm sure it'll be neutered to some degree, probably fewer dick jokes. But the fact that we're going to get Deadpool going up against Wolverine on screen, and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine at that, I can't tell you how excited I am.
It'll be all right. I'm kidding.
I'm
excited.
Like, hold on, you're kicked off the podcast.
Yeah, right. That's what I had to do. Shit, I should have said something like that sooner. I'm excited for this for all the reasons everyone else is going to be. I'm also excited about this whole plan that they did about. They got so tired of things getting leaked that they started leaking their own fake things. So now I really want to see what's actually going to be happening, because I haven't been paying attention to all the leaks. I just saw the one where I'm like, oh, Hugh Jackman, awesome. I haven't seen the other ones, so I'm excited to see what they bring in. Because if they find an excuse to bring Tom Holland into this, that would be awesome.
I don't need Tom Holland.
Right?
I'm
I
good.
was like, hold on a second.
Nah.
Where did that come from?
Well, because
the
Spider-Man's part of Deadpool. And
yeah,
they go up against each other a lot.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we've got a multiverse. We can use different Spider-Men.
That's true.
Anyhow, Tom,
Andrew Garfield's.
Why are you giving insider information, Amanda? Come on. We already yelled at Arjan for this earlier.
Yeah, I swear to God, I'm just gonna.
Oh, I'm so sorry that you guys haven't watched all of the movies in the past 3 years or TV shows.
Fair point. So we're all excited. Deadpool,
Oh,
number
I'm
one.
so sorry you guys didn't watch all Godzilla movies in
Oh
ever
my
history.
gosh!
Good Lord.
No, you're telling us stuff from other works,
Dude,
from
the
irrelevant
rubber
works.
suit movies were shit. I'm sorry. I know it's not. You're not allowed to say that. I know it's against the law, but they were kind of.
How dare you?
They're cool in that. Man, I wish I could make movies in my backyard in my bathtub kind of way. But in terms of actually,
Velocipaster type level. Is that what you're saying?
Dare you?
there you go.
Zip-up suits were popular because of the sleeve stacks. I mean, it makes everything better back in the 70s and 80s.
Something.
Back to Deadpool 3, though, I am so excited. And the chemistry is palpable. I am waiting for these two to join on screen and watch the sexual tension just flow.
Just pop.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. They have been teasing us for so many years about these
So
two.
many years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like the sexual tension might get me to change teams.
Wow.
Right? I'm saying.
Wow.
do you
I'm
mean,
already on
right?
Hugh Jackman's side. I'm just letting you
I'm
know.
on all the sides, especially Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh.
That's a love, a bromance that can never be broken.
What a sandwich, huh?
My fear was that Disney was picking this up and it wasn't going to get the R rating. Then it got the R rating and I was like, okay, cool. And then it's like, and it's going to be part of the MCU. And I was like, well, shit.
Mhm.
And then it's like, but the MCU really could use a pick me up right now. So this could be great.
Yeah. I think that this will be a shift that we need for Marvel movies.
Well, you know what? Let's all calm down.
No, I'm with her 100%. They need to do something to revamp Marvel.
Oh, no,
because right
they
now
do.
I'm like, kiss my ass. I don't care about the next one. This is the only thing I'm excited about.
They need to shift into X-Men and
Mhm.
Fantastic Four
Mm-hmm.
space and
This-
leave
this could
everything else
connect 'em.
behind.
This could connect them.
Yep.
All
Which
right.
can still bring Scarlet Witch into the, keep her around.
Okay,
Just
calm
so you
down.
know.
Of course.
So we'll do that.
Of
It could.
course.
Yeah, it could. It
Of
absolutely could.
Especially when Doctor Strange was the best MCU movie in the most recent era.
Which is
Well-
not saying a lot. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on it, but it definitely was not the same level of work that we had seen in previous phases.
Okay, now we're gonna do our own picks, and I want to preface: if you have something to add to it constructively, add it. If you're just gonna say, "That's cool, I'm excited," just don't do that.
Just shut up.
Just shut up. Otherwise, we'll never get through this. But what I would
Okay.
like everyone to do is throw in theater or streaming, as in that'll indicate your level of excitement, I guess. I'm definitely going to see that one in the theater, or that one I'm going to see in streaming. If it is streaming, well, we know the answer to that, but you know what I'm saying. So let's go with that. Troy, you're
Okay.
up first. What are your films that you're most
I'm
excited
going to see pretty much all of these in the theater. The only one that I might see on streaming would be the animated one I'll talk about in just a second. But first, we already talked about the fact that I have this thing for imaginary friends, and we already talked about Ryan Reynolds. And when you put those two things together, you get If, a young girl who goes through a difficult experience begins to see everyone's imaginary friends who have been left behind as their real life friends have grown up. It does star Ryan Reynolds and a cavalcade of voices, including Steve Carell, and it's written and directed from the mind of John Krasinski on May 17th, 2024. I cannot wait for this movie. It looks so good.
Theater.
Definitely a theater. A very, very creative. One of the most innovative films coming out this year. It reminds me of that Amblin magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, definitely a theater for me too.
All right. Then we have Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. When the discovery of an ancient artifact unleashes an evil force, the Ghostbusters, new and old, yes, everybody's coming back except for Egon, must join forces to protect their home and save the world from a second ice age. I mean, he could come back as a ghost again, I suppose. Starring previous installments, McKenna Grave, Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, Finn Wolfhard, and the rest of the original Ghostbusters are coming back. Directed by Gil Kennan and written by Gil Kennan and Jason Reitman. March 22nd, it has moved up. So super excited for Ghostbusters to be coming out this year.
Probably streaming.
Blasphemous.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying about streaming on that one. I am going to say that that's going to be in the theater for me.
Okay.
Busted makes me feel
Hang
good,
on.
Aaron.
Hang on. I will go to the theater, but I do have a legitimate question. Do you not miss the tone of the original Ghostbusters?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the tone of the original Ghostbusters had to shift in the last movie because it wasn't taking place in New York. This is back in New York. So there's no saying that there would be the same tone because all of the Ghostbusters are back.
You didn't answer my
And
question.
not just at the end of the movie.
Don't you miss the tone of the original? Because people keep raving about what a great return to form that last movie was, and it wasn't anything like the original. It was not a return to form, in my opinion. Different kind of movie, I agree. They modified it, but I had a real problem with how they treated Egon in that movie. He's basically a deadbeat dad. So that's just an honest question.
But I mean,
Theater.
if
I'll
you
see
think
the theater though.
if you think about like where the people were at the start of the second movie, you know, they got the university, they had to do their own jobs. Ray had his bookstore. I mean, it makes sense how it kind of went through.
Okay.
You know, the timeline was long enough that there could have been some challenges with Egon's family because he was so obsessed with the ghosts.
Okay. I'm not trying to poo-poo your pick. I'm going to see it in the theater too. I hope they bring some of that tone from the original back. I want some of that flavor back.
Fair enough.
Well, from one of the longest wars in movie history next to Braveheart, the untold story behind Helm's Deep, hundreds of years before the fateful War of the Rings, is telling the life and blood-soaked times of its founder, Helm Hammerhand, and the King of Rohan. It's an animated prequel-type movie with Miranda Otto actually bringing back the voice of Éowyn. Also, Brian Cox and Sean Dooley will be in this as well, targeting around Christmas 2024. Could be a week earlier, not quite sure yet. This is no ties to the Rings of Power series on Amazon. It is truly its own thing.
I'll do theater if you go with me.
Aww.
Otherwise, it's streaming.
That's a high praise because Aaron does not do cartoons.
I don't. That's why you have to go with me because I'm probably going to have some gaps.
That's going to be streaming for me.
Wow. I'm surprised by that, John.
I'm not as big into Lord of the Rings as a lot of people are. One, two.
Need more kaiju?
I need more kaiju in my life.
I think it'll depend for me on what I have going on around that time. Because, looking at Christmas 2024, I know I'm going to be traveling and stuff around there. So I'm like, I don't know if I'll be making it a priority to go see it in the theater. But I would prefer to, just because of the animation. I think that depending on how it looks, could be enjoyable to watch in a theater.
So the story could be good.
Mm-hmm.
The animation part will definitely erase any previous animated versions of anything Lord of the Rings related. Hopefully.
Yep.
So, and because I have AMC A-list, I would go see this in the theater.
Well, it sounds like you're obligated to.
Yeah, these are your five.
Only because
you damn
I
well
have
better
A-list.
go to the theater for these.
The animated makes me nervous.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Number 4 for me is Civil War in the near future, or maybe happening right now.
It's a documentary.
A team of
God.
journalists travel across the United States during a rapidly escalating civil war that has engulfed the entire nation. This stars Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons, and Nick Offerman. Written and directed by Alex Garland. Oh, yes.
Yes.
And happening now. It's going to, literally happening now in real life.
Should have released it on election day.
Yeah, they should have. April 26th, which is close to the primary day.
Yeah.
So still time to buy water and toilet paper before this comes out.
Theatrical, man. Alex Garland, Ex Machina. I love him. Absolutely love him.
Yeah, this is 100% in theater for me.
It's going to be streaming for me if I watch it.
Disappointing.
I don't care. I don't want to watch this documentary. I'm
John,
over
what
it.
happened to the last time when you and I did a podcast together and we were just like bonding? We were like best buds.
And now
dead.
you're shitting on me. I get it.
Dead.
We're just not on the same page right now.
We're not vibing.
John
I get it.
Crossed
We're
out of his
not.
depressive state. He watched Ted Lasso. He's in a good place now. He doesn't need to watch real life in the theater.
That's exactly right. Thank you, Troy.
Fair play.
I was trying to get those thoughts out, but freaking some harpy decided to jump all over my words.
What was that?
You heard me.
I still love you though.
I love you too, sweetheart.
I will go to the theater and look out my window at the theater.
I'll be
It'll
there.
be happening outside.
For sure. I'll be there.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. And finally, in no relating whatsoever to the original 1996 film Twister, other than they're just going to be chasing multiple tornadoes because this one's called Twisters.
I'm excited.
It's going to center on a pair of storm chasers who risk their lives in an attempt to test an experimental weather alert system. Sounds like a remake to me, but it's not. Starring Glenn Powell, Katie O'Brien, Maura Tierney, and written by Mark L. Smith, directed by Lee Isaac Chung, coming July 19th. Glenn Powell stated specifically that this is not a reboot or a sequel. It is a completely original story.
We'll see about that.
Theatrical.
Yeah, I don't
for
know.
Sure. Theatrical for sure. It's Glenn Powell is a movie star, man. He's the guy. He's the next guy. So I'm on board, and I'm gonna actually add this to my drive-in. I always do like a drive-in on my backyard, kind of. I have a screening out on my fence, and I'm gonna watch the first Twister before I go see this one. That has no connection, but it's the exact same plot.
I want to see it just because of the spectacle that's going to be on the screen, and that's just about it. I love the first movie. I don't care if this one's connected or not. I'll see it for the spectacle, and hopefully it surprises me.
This will definitely be theatrical for me because of Glenn Powell, but I would say otherwise it would probably be streaming.
Wait, because of Glenn Powell, but not the tornadoes?
Yeah. I am
Effects,
petrified
not the
of
flying
tornadoes.
cows. I'm sorry, flying chickens, because it's not a sequel.
Yeah, right. They're going to have different animals flying through the sky. Yeah, I'm actually terrified of tornadoes. I drove through, literally was in a tornado probably, I think it was like 2 years ago. So I'm even more petrified of tornadoes now. So I can't say that like that's the part that's going to make me go see a movie, because it is a real terrifying fear of mine.
Real surprised you were in a tornado, because the way you speed, you should have outran it.
You're not wrong. I did capture a video on Snapchat, though. I was like, I'm literally in a tornado right now. This is wild. Nebraska, man.
Look, as long as it's got some Van Halen in this movie, I'm totally in the theater.
Nice. All
It's
right.
extreme, man.
That's Troy. Is it my turn? Right? Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. First one up is Borderlands, directed by Eli Roth, starring Cate Blanchett. How did they get her? Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Jamie Lee Curtis, Edgar Ramirez. There's a lot of people in this. Opens on August 9th, 2024. Get ready for some outer space shenanigans as Eli Roth takes the helm for this adaptation of the popular and wacky video game series. I was a big fan of this series. The film was written by Craig Mazin, who recently made The Last of Us video game franchise. So there's a lot to like here, a lot of potential here. Eli Roth scared the shit out of me at first. Then I saw Thanksgiving, and I'm like, okay, you want me back. He has a chance to keep me as a fan. Hopefully he doesn't lose me. Because, man, Borderlands could be a really, really fun time. I think this could be the next big video game property. If you've never played the game, it is an insane first-person shooter that you can... It's a looter shooter. And you team up with your friends, and you basically just, you get an innumerable amount of guns, and they're all ridiculous. It's a fun game. Who wants to see Borderlands?
Me. Theater all the way.
All right. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Eeyore, gonna bum this out? Huh?
You know
Eeyore.
what? Now I am going to. So
Okay.
fuck it.
All right.
Until I see a trailer, I'm going to say streaming for me.
Okay. All right. This is one that I was so excited for last year. They postponed it because of the strike and whatnot. They needed people to get out there and do the press. But coming out on April 26, 2024 is Challengers. It's directed by Luca Guadagnino. I hope I said that right. Starring Zendaya, Josh O'Connor, and Mike Faist. Zendaya stars in this film, which centers on the relationships between a tennis prodigy turned coach, who's Zendaya. She basically gets an injury and has to become a coach. The struggling former champion, who is her husband, and his former best friend, who happens to be her ex-boyfriend. There's a lot to this plot that is not being told, which is the way I like it. I don't want to know more. If you've seen the trailer is captivating, man. Like, I was sucked in, and I'm like, what is this actually going to be? Like, what is going on? What is behind the curtain here? I'm very excited for Challengers.
Yeah, this is theatrical for me. Zendaya all the way.
This could be streaming for me.
He's just going opposite anything I say at this point.
No, I'm not.
No, I think he's saying I don't want to leave my house. That's what it sounds like to me.
He's agreeing with me because Zendaya looked great on HBO Max. So it doesn't matter if she's in streaming or not. She looks great everywhere. So this one's totally fine watching
All
her.
right, thank God you went there with it, because I was getting a little worried there.
Oh, boy.
I mean, it was still a little weird. So there's that.
Could have went either way.
She looks great in the
All right.
sand.
Next one is The Fall Guy, directed by David Leitch, starring Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt. Opens on May 3rd, 2024. Trailer's great, minus the choice of song for the trailer. I don't think they should have went that way. Right? Yeah. Bad choice for a song. But anyway, it's David Leitch. He is former stuntman turned director. He worked on John Wick, Atomic Blonde. He helmed that. Deadpool 2, Hobbs and Shaw. The guy makes fun, big budget blockbusters. And this is an adaptation of the 80s TV show where you had Lee Majors playing Colt Seavers. Oh my God. And now it's got Ryan Gosling playing Lee Majors. And he's going to be making out with Emily Blunt. I'm in. I'm so in.
I'm in. This is a theater run. Totally. I can't wait.
Sweet.
Because of Blunt and Gosling and the action, I will go see this in the theater because I have an A-list membership.
I heard he's singing "I'm Just Colt," if that helps you.
Is that ode to the gun that he's going to carry?
No,
Sorry.
because his name's Colt Seaver, dummy.
God damn it, Troy. Son of a bitch.
Aaron and I are going to see this in a theater at South by Southwest.
Let's drop this name. Yep, it's the opening night movie. We just
It
found
feels
out.
like worse than a name drop is
Yeah.
what that feels like.
It's the just announced as the opening night movie. So if we can get in, those are always the hardest ones to get into too. So can't wait. All right, next up. Dude, I am so excited for this. It's shameful. Summer 2024. We don't have an official date yet, but summer. Directed by Mark Malloy, starring Judge Reinhold, John Ashton, Paul Reiser, Bronson Pinchot, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Kevin Bacon. It's been about 30 years since we saw this guy, but Eddie Murphy is back as Axel Foley. I don't care what the plot is, but if you want to know, he's a Detroit cop who goes to L.A. to investigate corruption after the death of an old friend. It's the same goddamn plot as the previous two movies, and I don't care. I just want to see Axel Foley back in Beverly Hills to make me forget, to wash away the sins of Beverly Hills Cop 3. I'm stoked.
Well,
if
this wasn't on Netflix, I would totally go see this in the theater.
Fair. It is a Netflix film. I wish they would release this to theaters, though, man. I would go and see it in a theater, even though it was coming to Netflix.
So you're saying as if I cancel my Netflix subscription, I won't be able to see this?
Correct.
Damn it. Okay.
Well,
I guess I'm keeping
well.
my Netflix subscription then.
Okay. Nobody's excited about this nearly as much as I am. So let's move.
I'm excited for it. But
Okay, you. These other two were like, it's Axel Foley, I guess.
That's not nobody. That's still somebody. God damn it.
You're right. But you talked like 5 minutes ago.
$50 a month for Netflix to watch this. How is that not exciting?
The downing is drowning out your excitement, John. That's what happened.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's a movie we definitely do not need.
You are somebody.
We will take it.
We do need it. Did you see Beverly Hills Cop 3? Everyone needs this movie. Everyone.
Right.
Everyone.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's because I actually kind of liked Beverly Hills 3 because that's because I worked at Six Flags.
I don't care.
I appreciated the theme park aspect to it, but
there's no excuse for liking that movie. You should be ashamed of yourself. All right.
I'm just John, and that's okay.
My next one, I'm actually gonna switch it because I'm gonna mention that I'll switch it to my honorable mentions. My next one is gonna be Roadhouse, which comes out on March 21st. I didn't realize it was coming out for sure this year, but I found out that is confirmed. Jake Gyllenhaal plays this generation's pain don't hurt hero. He's Elwood Dalton, so I'm assuming he's related to Swayze's James Dalton, who transitions from a UFC fighter to a cooler in the Florida Keys. It's directed by Doug Liman. He did The Bourne Identity and a lot of other films. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. He makes fun action movies. And everything I've read, the tracking for this has been off the charts. And still Prime won't release it in theaters because they want those streaming views, those clicks. So I can't wait to watch Roadhouse on Prime on March 21st. Is anybody else excited about this? I know it's a remake of a classic film, but it looks like they're taking a new spin on it.
It's Jake Gyllenhaal. How can you go wrong?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, unless you're Taylor Swift. Throwback.
Dang,
Wow.
That was savage. That was uncalled for. That was honestly rude.
we made it an hour.
She left
and
her
15
scarf.
minutes.
And oh my gosh. I'm really looking forward to this one though. This is theatrical all the way.
Well, not really. It's going to be streaming. You don't have a choice.
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny, you're up. What are your... Well, I'll mention this one real quick. Horizon Chapter 1 comes out June 28th, and Chapter 2 comes out August 16th. It's Kevin Costner's Ode to the American West. I don't know any more about it, but that whole concept, he's basically gave up Yellowstone for this franchise, so I hope it's very good. John.
I hope he's a lot more engaging than he was at the Golden Globes. That's for sure.
Yeah, he was weird.
Okay, so no particular order to these. It's just 5 movies that I'm excited about. One of them is Transformers 1, September 13th, 2024. An original story is set on Cybertron, home of both the Autobots and the Decepticons. The film is said to focus on the relationship between Optimus Prime and Megatron. The one and only thing I'm not really thrilled about when it comes to this movie is the fact that Optimus Prime is being voiced by Chris Hemsworth, but you also have John Hamm, Scarlett Johansson, Keegan-Michael Key, Lawrence Fishburne. All these people are showing up to do some voices, and I'm excited for this for that reason. And I love Transformers.
Streaming for me. I won't watch that in the theater. It's animated, right?
Okay. Yeah, it's animated.
Yeah, probably be streaming for me too at this point.
I do love that it's going to be on Cybertron, though, so it could get me to get out there because I have an A-list membership.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Moving right along to my next movie on Netflix, March 8th, 2020. We know what year it is. It's this year. Damsel, a dutiful damsel agrees to marry a handsome prince, only to find out the royal family has recruited her as a sacrifice to repay an ancient debt. Thrown into a cave with a fire-breathing dragon, she must rely on her wits to survive. The stars: Millie Bobby Brown, Ray Winstone, Angela Bassett. The list keeps going on of people that I don't know anything about, but those are the three that I thought was worth mentioning. How about you guys? What do you think?
Does this seem like a medieval version of Ready or Not?
A little bit. I like that. And now I kind of want to see that movie. Make that movie.
Yeah.
I would watch that. I want to see it. I don't know if that I'm excited about it, but I did like the trailer.
Yeah, I like the trailer a lot. Okay. My next movie is Sonic the Hedgehog 3, December 20th. And the plot of this one's under wraps, but everyone is back for this movie. You have Idris Elba, James Marsden, Ben Schwartz, all these people that show up and do fun stuff. I really enjoy the first two movies. I like the video game. It's one of my favorite video games as far as side scrollers are concerned. And it's partially because it's fast enough to keep my attention going for a long time, but also the movies have been fun. So I watched them with my nephew, and they were great watching it with him because he gets excited about this sort of stuff. So anybody else?
Teeth or no teeth coming back on this one?
Teeth?
From the original design. He's talking about the original design. We don't even know if Jim Carrey's coming back yet because he said he retired. So I don't know if he's actually going to be part of this or not. But he was a big reason why the first movie worked. I'm definitely saying streaming because I still haven't watched the second one. And I actually own it.
Yeah, same.
That's where I'm at because I haven't watched the second one yet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right. On June 14th, Bad Boys 4, plot still unknown. See, I think I made a lot of these choices just because it would keep me from reading way too many things.
I should call it the slapping.
The slappening. That's great. So far, as far as I can tell, the only people that they've confirmed that are back are Mike Lowry and a couple of the idiots that worked for them in the last movie. I have no proof as to anybody else is coming back to this yet.
Theatrical, I still am not a fan of Will Smith. I know some people are like, well, get over it. It's ridiculous. Nah, man, I just really bugged me. The whole Oscar thing bugged me. Still does.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
I'm with you.
But I love those movies, so I'll probably see it. Maybe that'll finally win me over.
Right.
It probably will.
Remember, there are a lot of more people that put their time and effort into making these things. It's not just Will Smith.
I don't care. If the whole time I'm watching it, I want to slap him. I don't think that's really a good way to spend 2 hours. But
I'm sure Martin Lawrence thinks the same thing too.
I like Martin Lawrence.
All right, I'm going to finally come down to my last movie, which is Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. I don't know how this didn't make it on the top 15 because
it's not dated yet. That's why.
I got March 29th.
Nope, they pulled it from the schedule last year.
All right. Well, anyhow, it picks up where the last movie left off. Everybody's coming back. I need to see this because I can't leave a story untold. What about you guys?
If it comes out in 2024, I will definitely go see it. I really was not a fan of how they ended the last one. I would watch one more. That's probably the last one I'll watch because I'm good with this. I don't, but I also don't love animated movies.
All right, cool.
The first one was one of my favorite movies of the decade. The second one was a little bit more chaotic for me, and I can't say that I loved it. I enjoyed it still, but I just had a lot of issues with it. And we've already talked about the ending. So I'm going to see it, but it may end up being a streaming watch.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to the theater all by myself with all my movies then.
We all know you're not going to the theater.
No, I totally am.
I would watch it in the theater. I just don't know when, because I doubt it's going to come out this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's still coming out this year. I don't think, but it hasn't been dated, so it is possible. But because of the strikes, they had to push it off for quite a while. So, Amanda, you're up.
Voice actors were
so that one's tentatively for 2024, but it was originally supposed to be in March.
All right. So my list. First up, we have Lisa Frankenstein, which is in theaters February 9th. A misunderstood teenager and a reanimated corpse embark on a murderous journey to find love, happiness, and a few missing body parts. How does this not sound like it's up my alley?
Yeah.
Lisa Frank, childhood artwork, and all of that weird shit combined with love and joy and death. Okay? I'm in.
Streaming.
All right, at least you'll watch it.
Oh, yeah, it sounds interesting.
I got it, man. I was like, I'll never watching this, the first trailer. And then I saw another trailer and I'm like, all right, I'm kind of.
Doesn't it remind you a little bit of like Warm Bodies? Like, I didn't think that I would enjoy that.
Plot. It's the same exact plot. But Catherine Newton looks, theatrical. You won me. You got me.
Okay.
John?
This one's streaming for me.
All right. Well, my next is Madam Web, which is in theaters February 14th. Cassandra Webb is a New York City paramedic who starts to show signs of clairvoyance. Forced to confront revelations about her past, she must protect 3 young women from a mysterious adversary who wants them dead. This hits the marks for me in terms of the casting, in terms of, protecting women and a lead female, and also the mystery behind someone's past. Love that.
I am very interested in this movie. I will likely see it in the theater.
Yeah, definitely theater.
It's theatrical, but this is not Madam Web. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
Fair enough.
That's true. Enough. It's not Madam Web in any way, but
And also, if anybody is uncertain, so we have Sydney Sweeney, we have Dakota Johnson, Emma Roberts, Adam Scott. Like, we have a loaded cast. So I have a lot of faith in this being a good movie.
And if you've seen the trailer, you'd expect Jennifer Garner as Elektra to show up. Because it feels like a 90s superhero movie.
Yeah,
or
it does a little.
Whatever the hell that was.
All right. My next one is called Drive Away Dolls, which is in theaters February 23rd from the Coen brothers.
Oh, okay.
Jamie regrets her breakup with her girlfriend while Miriam needs to relax. In search of a fresh start, they embark on an unexpected road trip to Tallahassee, but things quickly go awry when they cross paths with a group of inept criminals.
Theatrical, because the Coen brothers haven't made a movie together in a while, and I'm going to have to see that as soon as I can.
I like that it's something different yet familiar, so because of A-list, I'll go with the theater.
That's a weird caveat. Well, because I already paid for it, I'm going to go see it. I think I'm going to go see this in the theater. It's different and quirky enough that it'll probably be very worth the sit.
All right. Shirley comes out March 22nd. It is written and directed by John Ridley, who did 12 Years a Slave.
Oh.
Shirley depicts the 1972 presidential run of Shirley Chisholm, played by Regina King, who was the first Black woman to be elected to U.S. Congress. It also has Lance Reddick and Terrence Howard, who are along for the campaign.
I didn't know about this movie. Theatrical. In.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, totally theatrical.
Yeah, theatrical.
All right, my last movie is part 1 of Wicked, which comes out November 27th. In an alternate look at the land of Oz, the true heroine is wrongfully cast as the Wicked Witch and actually turns out to be a freedom fighter who battles against the wizard for her homeland. Part 2 will come out November 26th, 2025.
Reviews depend. It's review dependent. Because it should have been one movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I will totally give you that.
Yep. The fact that you're splitting them up means I need to hear from people. I need to get some word of mouth. This is something to get excited about.
Okay.
I'll get more excited about it when I see the trailer for it.
I need to know if they sing in it first, because I don't want to go to the movie and then all of a sudden they start singing and I didn't know they were singing in the first place.
Is this a Mean Girls reference? They better sing. It's an adaptation of the stage musical, right?
It better be.
Yeah, they better sing.
Which, by the way, is I went and saw the stage play in Texas, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I was blown away. It was so great. I finally understood all the hoorah and the hype around it.
Okay. All right. You're getting me to come back to it a little bit. Interesting.
I do have an honorable mention.
Go for it.
Okay. So in theaters on Christmas, we have Nosferatu. So another iteration of this, an ancient Transylvanian vampire stalks a haunted young woman in 19th century Germany. I will pretty much watch anything Nosferatu, going back to the OG. So I'm very excited for this one.
That's Christmas. That's Robert Eggers. That's Robert Eggers. He did the Witch. Yeah. Well, that's Lily Rose Depp's in that. Pete Skarsgård or Bill Skarsgård. Nicholas.
Yeah, it's got a great cast. Willem Dafoe's in it too.
That's interesting because Willem Dafoe played the character the last time.
Robert Eggers can go either way. I will tentatively say theatrical. I love the idea of seeing it in a theater, but he can go either way. He also did The Lighthouse, which I loathed. So
yeah,
he can go either way.
Okay.
For me, I'm gonna have to say streaming because I'm not as interested in this story as a lot of people are. So yeah, streaming for me.
Streaming as well.
Okay. Well, I've got a few honorable mentions. If you guys got a minute, you ready?
I got one as well.
Oh, well, why don't you go first, Troy? I got a few.
I'm going to mention that Karate Kid did get moved into 2024, and Ralph Macchio is attached to it. So we're going to see Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan reprising their roles as Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Han, which means that this latest film and one of its actors will be bridging the gap between the original movies and the reboot. So how this plays into the Cobra Kai universe, so we're going to have to wait and see because don't know a bunch about this movie just yet.
Yeah, we don't even know if Cobra Kai will be out before this.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because there has to be one more season of Cobra Kai.
And this says December 13th. You didn't say the date. It's December 13th if you didn't know.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. I'm curious, too. I like the idea of Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan teaming up. That's kind of a cool idea. Cool idea. Totally cash grab, but still a cool idea. John, did you have an honorable mention before I finish this out?
I actually didn't know.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff that I liked, wanted to look at was already mentioned.
Okay, so here's a few that I have. The Bike Riders. It was postponed from last year. It's directed by Jeff Nichols. Stars Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, Tom Hardy, Michael Shannon, Boyd Holbrook. Opens June 21st, 2024. After being pulled from the 2023 release schedule because of the strike, this period drama switched hands, and now it is definitely coming out. So inspired by the 1967 photo book of the same name, this fictional story chronicles the rise of a Chicago motorcycle club over the course of a decade through the lens of its members. Think of it like a dated Sons of Anarchy to some degree. So a historical Sons of Anarchy. And
this narrowly missed my list.
Man.
It looks good.
Jodie Comer, baby. Jodie Comer.
So
what do you guys think? Streaming or theatrical? Is that more of a streamer for you guys because it's more of a low independent movie, or
theatrical, baby, all the way?
What is happening to you right now?
Troy,
it's the wine.
John?
Theatrical for me.
Theater for me.
Okay. Then I've got Wolves, which is September 20th, directed by John Watts, who did the Spider-Man films. Stars George Clooney and Brad Pitt as two lone wolf fixers who are assigned to the same job.
Theater.
Streaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got George Clooney, Brad Pitt. You've got a cast. I'm in.
Okay. Kraven the Hunter, directed by J.C. Chandor, starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, comes out August 30th, 2024. It was originally supposed to come out around the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man franchise, but that got bumped. So now we're getting this character from the Spider-Man universe. He's basically going the Venom route where he gets his own series. It's not your father's Kraven the Hunter, that's for sure, because this is basically the son of Kraven. He becomes Kraven. I don't know exactly what the hell's going on, but Kraven the Hunter in the Spider-Man comics is basically this guy who's obsessed with hunting, and he will do anything to capture his prey. And he ends up hunting Spider-Man a lot. I don't know if there's going to be any Spider-Man mentions here, but I think it's probably going to be possibly terrible, but I can't wait to see it because Kraven the Hunter is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains.
I'm leaning towards streaming for this one. I'm at least willing to watch it, and that mostly because I don't know, the historical piece of it. But it does have Aaron Taylor Johnson. It has Ariana DeBose from Wish and Hamilton and West Side Story, of course. So that makes me more intrigued into it, and I'll stay open-minded. But trailer-wise, it looks okay. It looks fine.
I'm gonna say streaming for this one. I'm not as excited about this character. I would have to like the trailer doesn't do anything for me. So unless I see something or Aaron starts telling me it's the best Spider-Man side story ever told,
happen. That's probably not going to happen. I saw the trailer. It's probably not going to happen.
Well, at least I'm giving you the opportunity to talk me into going to see it in the theater. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
Yeah, mine is Aaron review dependent.
That's very nice. When I finished talking,
Aaron is like the Spider-Man aficionado. So if Aaron likes it, then it's worth going to see, because I feel like I'm kind of seeing this already in something that I'm currently already immersed in Spider-Wise, and I don't know if I need to see the movie that I just finished already seeing.
It's better there, I'm sure. So
far it's really good in what I'm currently seeing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And if anybody's a gamer, you know what he's talking about. All right, Terrifier 3 comes out on October 25th, 2024. We don't know much about the third installment, except it centers around Christmas, and David Howard Thornton is returning to play Art the Clown. Terrifier 2 kind of took the horror world by surprise. It came out like it was a sequel to a barely present horror film. It was basically just bargain basement indie cult thriller. Gory, murdery kind of film. And it did great business. And so they're making a third one. And I really, I didn't love the second one, but man, I couldn't turn it off. And I love the concept of Art the Clown. So I keep waiting for them to nail it. Don't know if he's going to nail it with this third one, but I'm going to watch it.
I'm gonna watch this in the theater too. I still haven't seen the first two. I own them both, but I haven't given myself a chance to sit down and watch them yet. But I'm excited to do so.
Then how do you know you'd want to see it in the theater?
Because
he's willing to.
I'm willing to bet you buy the third one and still don't go see the first two.
That is also a possibility. But I was looking toward the positive on this and trying to be hopeful for something to be so scary or even so crappy it's worse to see.
Fair.
Why are you shitting on me?
I'm not at all.
I didn't care for the first one, haven't watched the second one, so the chances that I'll even watch the third one are probably pretty slim.
Fair.
We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling around that time.
I'll make sure to let my daughter know. She loves them.
Okay, Ordinary Angels. This is based on a true story. Ordinary Angels centers on Sharon Steves, played by Hilary Swank, who's this struggling hairdresser in a small Kentucky town, who finds a renewed sense of purpose when she meets Ed Schmidt, played by Reacher's Alan Ritchson, who's playing against his Reacher type here. As a widower working hard to make ends meet for his two daughters, and his youngest daughter is waiting for a liver transplant. So it's this uplifting film full of faith and everyday miracles and ordinary angels. And man, it comes out on February 23rd wide. They delayed it so it could get a proper release. And I just love the trailer. It's not just because it's Alan Ritchson. I know people are going to say that, but the trailer really got me in the feels.
Streaming for me.
It'll probably be streaming for me. I'm willing to go see it in the theater, but again, going to the theater at this point in my life requires a lot of adjustment and like trying to get into the theater and energy. So it has to be really good. Be really interested for me to go to the theater at this point, unfortunately.
What, like you got to put pants on?
Because I do have to put pants on, yes. I'm also just usually really tired when I get to my off days because of all the commuting and stuff, the driving. But Hilary Swank, I used to not like her, which is kind of crazy. I used to be like, oh, she's so overrated. But I've gotten an appreciation for her as I've gotten older. And And Alan Richson, I think, is fantastic. I'll be curious to see this. It looks like it'll be a sweet little Lifetime type movie.
I don't know how she's overrated. I think the world looks at her as the most overrated 2-time Oscar winner in history or something. And
Yeah.
I don't get it. She's great
So
at
not
it.
fair.
I don't know where it really came from for me either. I think it was just because I was saturated with her movies when I was like younger. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I think maybe that had a role to play in it. But then as I actually, as I got older and I started watching different things that she's in, I really, really started to appreciate her as an actress. So now it's to the point where I'm like, I'm willing to watch this because of her more than anything.
Okay. Johnny?
I'm gonna say streaming, just because this is like, if I'm gonna go through the theater, it's gonna be for something that's going to, just fuck my eye holes with awesome, and this doesn't sound like it's gonna be that.
Okay. All right,
Your
well,
eye holes are going to be fucked with tears.
Right. I don't need that. I don't need the tears. I don't want that. I want awesome. So
okay, well, here's awesome. Abigail, April 19th. Has everybody seen the trailer for Abigail yet?
no.
Oh my God, you guys.
I have.
It's so fantastic.
Uh-huh.
After a group of criminals kidnap the ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, they retreat to an isolated mansion, unaware that they're locked inside with no normal little girl. In fact, it's possible it's Dracula's goddamn daughter. It's amazing. This is very fucking twisted. It's directed by the Radio Silence, who did the Scream films, and Ready or Not. They did Ready or Not. Stars Melissa Barrera from the Scream films, Catherine Newton, Angus Cloud, Kevin Durant, Dan Stevens. Yes! And when you watch the trailer, everybody here, when you're done listening to this podcast, go watch the trailer for Abigail. This is going to be one of those films that comes out of nowhere. It's got a From Dusk Till Dawn vibe.
Oh, I am so goddamn sold on this. I am gonna go see this right now.
So good.
Right now.
Amanda, am I underselling it, overselling it? What?
No, I think you're totally selling it at the right level. It looks awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in from your explanation, all the people involved, all the backstory of other stuff that I've loved in that entire explanation. I'm totally in.
All right, I'll be quick because I know Troy has to use the restroom. Mufasa, The Lion King. Barry Jenkins, they're doing a sequel, December 20th, 2024. This is a live-action Lion King prequel that's going to explore the backstory of Simba's father, Mufasa. James Earl Jones, who voiced Mufasa in the original Lion King and the remake, will not voice this younger version. Instead, Aaron Pierre will, or Pierre, I'm not sure exactly how you say it, and Kelvin Harrison Jr. will play Scar. What?
I've heard it both ways.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll play Scar, and I have it on here because I think families are going to want to see this. I don't know that I will, but what do you guys think? I will probably see it in a theater. I like the original remake, the live-action remake.
The live-action remake works because it's almost shot for shot the same, right? Story beat-wise. So this is probably one of these, like, nobody really needs. It could turn out to be completely fantastic in its own thing. Like, I really enjoyed Monsters University. Didn't think I needed it. Totally loved it and enjoyed it. So, have Disney Plus still for another year, so probably wait for it on streaming.
Yeah, this would be a streaming one for me too.
Uh-huh.
When I hear musical, though, I'm wondering if it's going to be like Disney integrating music or if this is going to be all out musical. It could be hit or miss for me depending on that.
I think it'll be like classic 90s Disney, right?
That's what I'm
Mermaid, Lion
hoping
King.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if it's like movie musical,
Barry Jenkins is a great director, so I will get it.
he is for sure, which gives more credibility to this property for sure. But am I going to run to the theater for it? Probably not.
There's an entire zebra kick line, I'm sure.
Okay, how about this for a last one? This is my last one, I promise. November 15th, Red One. Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, J.K. Simmons is a jacked Santa, and it's directed by Jake Kasdan, who helmed the new Jumanji movies. And the only description we have, an Instagram post from Dwayne Johnson, described the movie as, quote, a big, fun, action-packed, and fresh new take on Christmas that is a mashup of Jumanji meets Miracle on 34th Street, meets Hobbs and Shaw with a dash of Harry Potter, and sprinkled on top with my all-time favorite Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life. That fucker knows how to sell.
Yep, I'm in.
Keyword galore.
That was he just put a whole bunch of stuff in the chat GPT to get that out.
I hope so. Whatever works.
They're like, how to sell Aaron, chat GPT.
It did it. It all did it.
Yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah, and you can see it in the theater because Prime's going to put it in the theater first.
Yep. Boop, 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 boop. Love that. And Chris Evans and J.K. Simmons and The Rock.
Dude.
This is going to be great. Or awful, but still wonderful time. Can be either way.
It'll regardless, it'll still be entertaining because of the cast.
Sure. Absolutely.
Even if the movie sucks, right?
Absolutely. We got to go. We've talked for too long. Anything you want to say about 2024 movies before we close this bitch out? Come back next week, of course, for a new episode that'll be much shorter, I promise you. What do you got to say?
I don't think I've been this excited for a year of movies in a long time. A good mix of new, maybe a little bit less in the way of comic book stuff. So I don't believe I'm saying that. So I'm sorry to all the other people who were like, I know, but I'm excited for this lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you need to go to 2 movies afternoon in order to pay back your AMC A-list subscription or other theater subscription. So this is the year. If you haven't done it yet, buy one because there's so much good coming out in 2024. You're going to be at the theater at least twice a month.
But don't say it like it's a business transaction.
Like it's an obligation.
You got to go see 2.5 movies to make this thing worth it. There's plenty coming out to enjoy. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming out.
I'm saying you're already going to be there at least 2 times a month.
Sure.
You might as well get the thing.
I'm with you.
I just hope I have enough time to watch all the stuff because there's a lot of good stuff coming out. I just want to prioritize seeing it. Yeah, for sure. Because there's also a lot of good TV coming out this year too. Okay, so
Amanda, don't be afraid to go to a movie at 10 o'clock on Saturday or Sunday morning.
We just want to see you show up here. Yeah, and leave the house at some. Yes,
can we at least acknowledge so far in 2024? I've been good.
You've made it. You've made it for 2 episodes in a row. We're very proud of you. You're going to be gone next week, though. So.
I will, but that is pre-planned.
Lies.
That was pre-acknowledged because I'm traveling.
Can't do it. Nope, we can't live with this lies. Can't do it. You sit on a throne of lies.
I smell like beer and cheese.
All right, I'm gonna go watch those old Godzilla movies and throw up. Remember, the next time you head to a theater, stream comfortably on your couch. Buy popcorn.
R.I.P. Aaron.
Sorry, don't kill me.